And in terms of the learning style of our nursing program, so how do a typical class look like? Is it more about the lecture-based or case studies?
In relation to the Masters of Nursing program, because one of the things I think students may see if they have the bachelor, they think, oh, it's a 2-year program instead of a 3-year program.
Yeah.
So what we do before the start of the program is the academic year in Australia usually starts in March. And what we do is we bring the student in January and we give them support and development as a foundation for learning. So they get extra classes which support them about studying in Australia, and they get an introduction into science and anatomy and physiology and pharmacology, because some students may not have done a bachelor that is health related. So we give them that foundation to support them in their studies, and we give them the introduction into the health services so that they know about communication, safety. So when they go into March, they are well prepared. In our approach to nurse education, we have kind of 3 elements. So we have classrooms. So classrooms usually have maybe 25, 30 students in it. They're very interactive. So it's not just the teacher talking at the front of the classroom. It's case learning, it's doing activities in the tutorial. The student in their learning around that is supported by online learning as well. So we use a system called Moodle, where we have the learning resources for the student that they can connect with before they go into the tutorial. Then we have the clinical simulation. So we have basically fake hospitals, simulated space, simulated learning, mannequins, and these are small. The numbers are a lot smaller than our tutorial groups. You know, usually 4 or 5 students working together with a mannequin to learn their clinical skills. And then the last element is clinical placement. So what we do with the clinical placement is our students will go and work in a hospital. I think one of the things that's useful for the students to know, it's not just about doing the same thing over and over again. So they're not just doing the hard jobs. It's a learning experience. The nurses in the Australian hospital know that they are training the person to be the registered nurse, and they work with the student to develop their understanding. And we also employ people in the hospital to support the student as well.
And do you often see the students from non-health background enrolling in our Master of Nursing program? What the biggest challenge they will face in their studies?
We do. So one of the things that we see with the Masters of Nursing program is that students come from a wide variety.
Does it accept all kinds of students' background?
Yeah, so communication studies, business studies. I think the challenge of having done a bachelor program overseas that's not health related is you may not understand about health services. You may not understand about the language of health services. So even though I speak English, the language that I encounter when I go into a hospital is clinical language. So what we have in that period of time between January and March is really to introduce the students to those topics. I think one of the things for any international students where English is a second language is in relation to how do I do the assessments, you know, how do I communicate. So this is one of the things that we have. One of the main things I think that students should be aware of in coming to an Australian university, not just UOW, any Australian university, is there is strong network and framework to support the students. So we have learning skills advisors, and we have people whose job it is to support the students in their development. And when they are doing assessments, what they can do is make an appointment. They can see a learning skills advisor to support them in their learning.